All right. What's up, everybody? James Ng here, chairperson level 1 with PartnerCo. And today I'm going to be addressing and answering the top question that I've been getting, which is what is the PartnerCo compensation plan and how does it work? So today we're going to break down not just how it works, but more importantly, why it's the best comp plan in our industry, why and what strategy to use to maximize it. And we're actually going to talk about a drive to six figures in 6 months. So I hope that sounds interesting to you. Well, let's go through this. If you're not familiar with my backstory, I've been involved in this company that produces the drops, that produce this comp plan since its inception in 13 years ago. So I've worked with this compensation plan. I've studied it to the T. And I say this humbly, but I would probably say there's not many people out there in the PartnerCo world that know this comp plan better and the dynamics better than I do, just because we've built with it for so long. So what matters about a comp plan is not just what it is, but what matters is what to do to get what you want. Who here's ever got that question of what's the compensation plan? Let me give you the quick tip here. Hey, Lysias. Hey, Cindy. Great to see you. The answer to the question of what is the compensation plan should not necessarily be here's the compensation plan PDF and take a look at all the details. The answer for most people in the compensation plan, when they ask you what's the compensation plan, is what they're actually saying is, what do I need to do to get paid what I want? Is it worth it? And if you can give an explanation that clicks for them, where they can see that they can get what they want in the business, then they're going to say yes to you in your business. So I'm going to give you the simplest explanation that I know that I've been getting onboarding top money earners with. And you can share this, you can explain this as well too. And let's have some fun. All right. So what is this compensation plan? And why is it so important? PartnerCo has a compensation plan that is completely unique to all of network marketing. For those of you that are familiar with our profession, there's only a couple different ways to build. There's such a thing as binary, which is 2 lines, wide, unlimited levels deep. There's other compensation plans called unilevel. You can build almost infinite levels wide and X levels deep. There's other compensation plans like a matrix, which is limited levels wide and limited levels deep. The multi-line compensation plan is multiple patent pending, by the way. It is a compensation plan where you can build unlimited levels wide, unlimited levels deep, and you can have unlimited income. And that's why it's been voted number 1 in our entire profession. And this has been 13 years. It's been vetted, it's been tried, it's been proven, it works. Here's a very important stat to know. This compensation plan pays a 50-50 split. That means that of every dollar sold of product, 50% is paid into the compensation plan and 50% goes back to the company for research and development and all their fees and all that stuff. Type in the chat 50-50. True partners. It's in the name PartnerCo. So knowing this, the more important thing I'm going to address today, though, is the strategy of what to focus on how to maximize this. Because basically, there's no rules that are given with the comp plan. You can build it however that you want. Should I build wide? Should I build deep? Like, how do I do this? Should I maximize things? Well, after 13 years of building with this compensation plan and also consulting with many top money earners, including Tim Sales, if you don't know Tim, he's a master distributor, built billions of dollars worth of sales of business, and a comp plan genius. We've all consulted and said, this is the best way. Okay. So how does this work? Well, number 1 is this. When you get started, think about it. What it takes in this business, when people say, how much does it cost? The reality is it only costs $30 one-time lifetime membership for a business. What do you get with this $30? You get partnership with the company. You get the ability to share links to 50 plus countries around the world. You have access to the diverse brands that PartnerCo has, over 80 products. You have access to marketing systems and tools. In this team, you have access to the most innovative, state-of-the-art marketing systems and tools to actually build your business. $30 gets you a lot. $30 is the cost of a good meal these days. But you have a business that can pay you for meals for the rest of your life. So number one is you have that. And then you also get wholesale pricing, 30% off retail. So you can buy the products for yourself. In fact, drop in the chat, what's your favorite product? I know, it's a tough question. There's so many different things. So buy your pack of products. And then what we recommend people is one of your goals. And Sydney McKnight, shout out, she did an she used this this phrasing that just made sense. Cindy McKnight and her amazing business partner, Lindsay Yoakum, they did $50 million of sales in 5 years in another prior venture, built an organization of 25,000. They are masters of simplicity. And this is what they said. They said, our goal is to help you to unlock this compensation plan. Unlock it. What do you mean by unlocking? Well, there's such a thing called business levels. I'm not going to go super into detail on this, but here's what you need to know about this business level. If you want to get to your goals and your dreams faster, in fact, put in the chat on a monthly basis, what would be a dream income to earn through your PartnerCo business? Is it an extra $1,000 a month for that amazing vacation with your family? Is it $5,000 a month to leave your full-time job? Is it $10,000 a month because you want to make 6 figures? We will talk about how to drive to 6 figures in 6 months in this. Is it more? Right? In the beginning, I just wanted 1,000. And here's the thing I've realized about making money. Once you make money and you know that there's power to doing that, and you're helping a lot of lives and you love what you do, you want to make more. Remember, making money means you served a lot of people's lives. So if you like helping people, it will necessitate that you need to make a lot of money. Okay. 100K a month, 6,000, 5,000. That's what I'm talking about. So it's in your best interest that you unlock the compensation plan so you can make the most, the fastest. Ultimate is what's called the business level that you want to achieve, because once you're here, you earn this thing, 30% of new volume bonus. I'll explain what that is in a bit. But just know 30 is 2 times more than 15. Who here would want to get paid double with the same amount of work? Put double in the comments below if that's the case. When you're at Ultimate, you double your bonuses for life. You can never lose this. So it's important that you unlock this Ultimate level. So, James, how do you unlock Ultimate? How do I unlock the compensation plan? One way you can, Blair wants a double. I'm talking about Lysias wants a double. Donna wants a double. Michelle wants a double. Why not? One way to do it is you can, if you're brand new, some people like doing it this way. In your first 4 Fridays, there's a way to do it faster. We call it the Power Start. And how you do it in your first 4 Fridays is you accumulate 1,500 PV, that's around $2,000 or $2,500 worth of product, US dollars. You accumulate that by either buying it and or selling it. Up to you. Some people like doing this, especially if you're like, I just want to go to 6 figures as soon as possible. You might consider this. I mean, if you're going to make 6 figures, what's $2,000 of products that you want to use anyway? I was just out in Vegas. We just onboarded some incredible 7-figure earners. They are blowing it up. They're crushing it. And they said, and they asked me, James, all right, what does it take to get started? I said, there's a couple ways. You can do the Power Start way. You can do another way. They said, Power Start. We're just getting the Ultimate pack. And their team is doing the same. So you can consider that. But another way, and this is the one that I'm going to talk about more of. Another way of unlocking this, and by the way, if you are Ultimate already, you've unlocked this, put an Ultimate in the comments below. Huge, huge deal for doing that. Some people are like, well, James, what if I missed the first 4 Fridays and like I was using the product and I wasn't serious yet. I didn't understand the value. Don't worry, you're okay. But it does make a big difference. Remember, when you're Ultimate, just as an example, if you just sell one set of drops and this person your customer buys it and they subscribe and save, and they buy it at 150, so one set of drops, compared to if you were not at Ultimate, you can make up to double the amount, which is pretty cool. Okay. So here's what we do recommend. Donna's Ultimate and Cindy's Ultimate and Blair's Ultimate. Congrats. Our goal, if you really want to unlock the compensation plan, is one title that you want to achieve. There's multiple different ranks that you can achieve here. There's a limited amount that you can get. But the one we want to focus on is what's called manager. Manager. Put manager in the chat. This is a very important title in PartnerCo because once you're at manager, you actually also, if you're not yet already Ultimate and Gold, you unlock Ultimate and Gold. So you get all of it. So whether you if you got the Power Start Way, cool. If you didn't, cool. Go manager, you unlock it, and there's no time limit for manager. You're there for life. Well, James, how do I hit manager? That's a really good question. Manager requires two aspects to it. So if you look at this cool Candy Lane visual, shout out to James Lenhart. As you are selling the product, as you are enrolling new partners, you're going to make money. The first titles in this compensation plan, you'll notice here, it'll say supervisor, for example, senior supervisor. There's also team lead and senior team lead. Those first 4 promotions in this company, they purely are based on what's called lifetime earnings. James, what's lifetime earnings? Lifetime earnings is literally all the earnings you earned in your lifetime. Does that make sense? Make sense in the chat if you're like, oh, okay, got it. All right. How many lifetime earnings? That's how much you made. All right. So the first 4, why? The first 4 promotions, they're like, hey, just latch yourself into the system, start getting your feet wet, start sharing the product, sharing the business, and don't worry about other complications. As you make money, you're going to get these cool promotions. The unique one, though, is when you go manager, they add in one more part to it. Manager is the first title, and this is why we pegged Ultimate and Gold to this. It's a first title that not only do you need $800 of lifetime earnings, this could be in any time frame. This could be 1 week, like some of you that are launching and you're doing it crazy. It could be in a year. Doesn't matter. So you need to at least have made $800 of lifetime earnings. And then number 2, a 1 week payline volume of 1,000 points. 1 week payline volume of 1,000 points. Put the number 1,000 in the chat. This is a very important number to have. Well, James, what's a payline? That's a really, really good question. I'm going to share with you now the strategy to focus on to get this all done. You do not need to be a comp plan genius to unlock this compensation plan, by the way. I would say 95% of people that are even officer and above, that's 1,000 a week plus, they don't understand the comp plan. But hey, who here would rather just know that you're getting paid well from the comp plan than even just understand the comp plan? You don't have to be a nerd like me. But if you do care, then we'll explain how this all works. Here's the simple strategy to unlocking everything in this comp plan. We want to get you Ultimate. We want to get you up to manager. How do you do this? Simple strategy that Cindy and Lindsay introduced to us. Don't focus on the comp plan to maximize the comp plan. Focus on the action that will drive the comp plan. What is that? As you get started, and for the rest of your career here in PartnerCo, focus every month. How can I help 10 new people become a customer? Every month, can I help 2 people become a brand partner with at least 200 points? We call this 10 and 2. Put 10 and 2 in the chats below. This one strategy I've seen that the teams that are blowing up the fastest, they focus on this and they duplicate this and they're scaling like crazy because it simplifies everything. So it's 10 customers, 2 partners, or if you're an enroller, it could be 12 people, at least 2 of them being brand partners. I mean, if you want 12 brand partners at 200 points, go for it. But most of us are more customer driven, which is absolutely fine. What does this do? This will pay you at least $500 by doing this. Hey, what would an extra $500 a month do for you? That's paying down rent or mortgage. That's a nice meal for the family. That's a car payment. Did you know most people in our business, they don't get started for the millions of dollars. They get started because they need a little bit of air, breathing room for their finances. So an extra $500 a month would drastically change most people's lives. Did you know, unfortunately, this is sad stat. I don't know if it's still true to this day, but most marriages fail because of finances and struggle. And an extra $500 a month is enough to save many marriages. Crazy. So what's the focus? Obsess. If you're brand new, I'm going to lock in 10 and 2. I'm going to do it this month. If you're not new and maybe you're in a rut, what do I do, James? Do 10 and 2 again. So what do you want to aim for? Number 1, do this yourself. But here's the key about this strategy. If you continue to drive this, and let's say you do 10 and 2 every month for 6 months, and then you duplicate this behavior into your team, you help your partners do 10 and 2. In 6 months' time, you will be at 6 figures annualized. You'll be at $10,000 a month. We have seen this already happen. We've seen many people already get to the 6-figure mark within 6 months. Many did it within 4 months. Many did it within a month. We just had a teammate, Lydie, that literally lit. Oh, I told her I wouldn't do this, but she lit it up in the first week. Was able to do this. So, however fast, however slow you want to do it, focus on 10 and 2, and then duplicate that into your team. Well, James, what does this have to do anything with manager? Well, you're getting lifetime earnings to this. You're getting closer to that $800 mark. You're also going to start to build a team. How do you do this though? Leverage the launch week. Leverage your pinned post. Leverage engagement sandwiches. Leverage the simple systems you have in front of you. Leverage the machine. Market. Be visible. Follow up on the friendship and the fellowship. Drive them to the machine. Leverage the automations and just have fun. Use the product. Be an example of the product. As you do that, let all the systems work for you, and you're going to do this very quick. The teammates that I see that are doing 10 and 2 the easiest are just willing, coachable, hungry. They follow the system to the T, and it's working for them. Okay? So, how does this go into the comp plan then? What's the strategy? As you're doing 10 and 2, and we're driving to 6 figures, your goal is to build 2 lines deep. Okay, you can build this, remember, unlimited wide, but what we found is the most strategic way to do this is just focus on 2 lines. I still remember our conversation with Cindy and Lindsay as they were launching, and they're a partnership, so they're 2 in 1, and they were on a massive recruiting spree. They were saying, like, should we do 4 lines, 3 lines, 5 lines, 2 lines? What do we do? We had a conversation with Tim, sales, master distributor. And he was like, just do 2. We're like, all right, just do 2. So they focus on 2 and they teach the same thing. And this is what's going to maximize. Why? When you do 10 and 2 with your brand partners, you're going to place them on 2 lines. What's our goal as you do this? Teach them to do the same thing and continue to do 10 and 2. So let's use this scenario. Let's say you have your line 1 here and your line 2. And on these lines, what's the focus of placement? Here's placement strategy, philosophy. The default placement in the back office will automatically match this behavior, by the way. When you place someone and you sponsor someone brand new, you look at your tree, you look at your volume. You can check your volume when you go to your back office, you go to My Money, and you go to volume. And you look at your lines and you see one line has more volume than the other one. The one that has more volume at that point in time that you're looking at is called the power line. The one that has less points is called the pay line. So what you typically want to do when you sponsor someone brand new is you look at your pay line, the smaller line, and you want to place your new person at the bottom of the pay line. If you're still with me, comment pay line. Pay line. You need both lines to match to get paid, but you do want to have new business there. Other rule, you typically never want to build 2 lines under somebody. So for example, if this is you and you recruited partner A, and let's say you recruited these 2 people too, you typically don't want to place one here under A and this one under A on the other side. That's technically giving them a free ride, unless you're just helping them, their family, their friend. But everybody is responsible for 2 lines. Type in the chat 2 lines. That is your responsibility. Sometimes you might have what we call a gift from above. Sometimes you might have an upline that's sponsoring and places someone under you. Hey, good. Congratulations. You're so responsible for your 2 lines, though. Don't expect someone to build it for you, essentially. Yeah. 2 lines can lead you to 6 figures. In this scenario, though, how do you go manager? Remember, it's $800 lifetime earnings. And then 1 week pay line volume of 1,000. As you do 10 and 2 and you duplicate it, what we found is this. Most people, by the time that you do 10 and 2, you are around striking distance of manager. You look at your tree, you're like, where do these people come from? Where did this money come from? You're starting to maximize it. Well, that gives you striking distance of manager. Well, James, where does some of this money come from? Let me share with you one other aspect here so you understand. In this compensation plan, there's 8 ways of getting paid. We're not going to go through all of them today, but one that is cool to know, and this is how most of your pay is going to be, I'm going back to this slide here. Okay. As you're selling the drops, as you're selling the product, most of your money at first is going to come from personal sales. Number 1, you get paid from retail sales. Retail sales. The drops are $176 US. If someone subscribes, it's $150 for them. We get it for $123. You make the difference, so you'll make $27 of retail profit. Retail is just like buy low, sell high. Every business does that. If you notice on this chart, you can earn retail if you're even not yet at 200 points yourself yet. You're essentially an affiliate. So you can just sell the drops like that. But as you go up the charts, this is why we want to get you up the business levels. When you're at least activated at 200 points, that means you buy or sell 200 points. You unlock the way to get paid off of any of the points, the compensation plan side of this. So you also, when you enroll somebody, you not only will get retail sales if you retail the product, but you also get what's called a new volume bonus of the points that you sponsor. So if you sponsored 100 points of a customer or a partner, dependent on your business level, let's say you're at the activate level, 15% of 100 is $15. This is why we want to unlock and get to ultimate, because 30% of 100 is 30. You double your bonus for life. That's why you see right here, there's a scenario, 200 points, 15%, $30. 200 points, 30%, $60. Who here would rather take $60 rather than $30 for the same work? Put me in the comments. All right, so understand as you're sponsoring, this is how you get paid. All right, James, how do I go manager? The way you go manager now, you did 10 and 2. You're looking at your business and you're like, you probably are close to $800 lifetime earnings. You're probably building some type of a team now. You probably have a power and a pay line. And in 1 week, what's our goal? Accumulate 1,000 points of what's called pay line volume. Pay line volume, what's considered that? Any volume that's on your smaller line. And also, typically, if you sponsor your own personal customers, what happens to the customers? The customers, there's a patent pen here called auto balancing, which is where it'll take the points in your customer and divvy it up in your tree, in your lines, so it pays you the most. Typically, it'll auto balance to your pay line. So let's say you want to go manager. You look at your tree, you're like, oh, I got a team growing. Typically, you're going to have one of your teams grow faster than the other one. Let's say you have 1,000 points minimum on that power line. And then you're looking at your pay line. You're like, all right, guys, you're helping one of your teammates go 10 and 2 on that line. You're accumulating some more customers yourself. You're sponsoring some new partners, and you got a total of 1,000 points of new volume. Congratulations. That now, 1,000 is considered manager in 1 week. And you unlock ultimate, life is good. You unlock the compensation plan. Congratulations. Put congrats in the chat if you're celebrating for yourself and your success. So the simple strategy, this first upfront one, 10 and 2, unlock the compensation plan, get to manager. All right, I'm starting to make money. I'm starting to utilize the systems. I'm starting to understand and to grasp this. But James, you talked about how to drive to 6 figures. How does that work? Well, if you keep on going here, the key of this business is massive duplication and scale. Don't stop there. As you keep on moving, what are they going to do? You're going to keep on doing 10 and 2. You're going to help your people do 10 and 2. You're going to help them do 10 and 2. Your line volumes, your team sales are going to increase. This week, you're at 3,000, for example. You get 15% from your team sales. This is called base commission. You make at least $450. You're now vice president. Congrats. You keep on duplicating. Imagine this scenario of 2 lines and your pay line volume is 6,667. 15% of that for your team sales base commission is 1,000. Officer, you're now welcome to the Officers Club, which you want to be in, by the way. You get exclusive news. You get exclusive access to early things from PartnerCo. You actually have an elite support line. So you get to cut the wait lines and call times go down, and you get the best of the best agents. So Officer is the place you want to get to. And you keep on doing this. Imagine after 6 months, you did 10 and 2 every month, and then you helped your teammates do the same thing. In 6 months' time, you will optimize your lines. That's 13,334 points in 1 week. That's $2,000 minimum that week with bonuses and everything. That is 6 figures a year. Congratulations. What'd you do? You just followed the simple system. You did what Cindy said. You were the system versus the rock star. You did the daily do. You focus on 3 people a week. You utilize the launch. You utilize the engagement sandwich. You utilize the guides. You utilize everything in place. You drove to the machine. You let the automations do the work for you. You help your people do the same thing. And it just duplicated. And the next thing you know, you look down, you're like, how am I at 6 figures? It's because you followed this very simple strategy. All right. So if this makes sense so far, I got it, James. This is the fastest growing, best compensation plan you will ever see. I was chatting with Cindy and Lindsay, and we were reflecting and not making an income claim here, but they were just doing facts. Because what matters at the end of the day is like, is it worth it? Does this actually pay well? Like, is it what it's cut out to be? And they were reflecting because in their previous business, they were just reflecting on sales volume there versus the same sales volume here. And what they said was this. They said with the same sales volume in this compensation plan, they made 3 to 4 times more money in this compensation plan than their previous comp plan. And it's not just them, by the way. It's everyone in this team. It's everybody in this business. I've worked with people on this compensation plan for 13 years. One thing I've never heard is this. I've never heard anybody say, James, this comp plan sucks. My paycheck sucks. In fact, the opposite is what I typically hear. The opposite is this. James, how did I get paid this? Is this for reals? Really? How did I get paid so much? You typically learn the comp plan as you start getting paid through it. And that's what's important. Most people are not going to understand the compensation plan, but you're leaders, right? You want to understand how this works. What matters is if you want massive duplication, if you want massive success, what do people actually feel in the front line? Do they like their experience? Do they feel like it's worth it? And it's important to know that no matter if they're brand new, they're a rising leader, or they're top money earner, every single level is paid out very well, handsomely. Remember, 50% payout, best in the industry. And it's actually realized, and it makes a legitimate difference. So with that said, there's other aspects of this compensation plan that are crazy. I just talked about 6 figures. Perhaps in another one, I should talk about multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures as well too. If that sounds like something interesting to you, put a 7 in the comments. Maybe we'll do a part 2 eventually. But with that said, drive through this system, maximize this compensation plan, go 10 and 2, build 2 lines deep, optimize it ASAP. And it's going to be you want to optimize ASAP because that'll unlock other aspects